Hey, how's it going today, guys? This is Brandon, one half of the Football Frame of Mind podcast. Man, I'm so happy to be here to talk some college football with you guys. Today, we're just going to do some college football Week 8 recap, as well as a college football Week 9 preview. Some really cool matchups from last week and some really good matchups from this week. But before we go any further, man, we just want to thank one of our main sponsors, and that's BetUS, one of the oldest sports books on the market, rich history, a lot of really nice things to offer. If you're into sports betting of any kind, you should check it out. We're going to have a link in the description. Make sure y'all click on that. It'll take you. They have a bunch of cool deals and promos going on right now. Y'all should really check it out. We just want to thank as well Off the Ball Network for giving us the opportunity to use their platform to reach more fans, to be able to pump out more content and reach more of a large audience. We just want to thank them for this opportunity, as well as all of our awesome subscribers. If you guys are just checking this out and have been under a rock somewhere, just want to let you guys know, thanks to y'all awesome support, we've hit 10,000 subscribers. As we speak, we're almost to 11,000. So, man, we're starting to catch steam, starting to grow again. And we just want to show you guys all of our appreciation. We're grateful for y'all and all y'all awesome support. So thank you guys once again. So, if we're going to start getting into this college football content, let's get into Week 8. I've got 4 really good matchups from this past week that were good games as well. First big matchup is a Big Ten conference matchup, and that's Penn State at Ohio State. I went out on a limb last week, and I picked Penn State to maybe squeak out a win. I understand that it probably wasn't the most favorable pick, but Penn State ended up taking the L. They were undefeated before last game. They fought a 6-1. Ohio State gets the W 20-12. I think Ohio State's starting to figure things out. I think they're starting to click on offense. McCord's playing well. Harrison's playing well. Their defense isn't looking too bad. Unfortunately, this is another loss to Ohio State for James Franklin. Just seems like he just cannot. I don't even know if he's beaten Ohio State once since he's been there, unfortunately. I really like him. I think he's an awesome recruiter. I think he's a good developer of talent. I think Penn State's a really good team, man. They just don't seem to have the answer for Ryan Day and Ohio State. Ohio State improves to 7-0 on the season. They're going to be looking to play Michigan here pretty soon. If you guys didn't already hear, there's a lot of allegations with Michigan possibly stealing signs from other teams. Probably going to have the NCAA drop some restrictions, probably some sanctions on Michigan. Unfortunately, with Coach Jim Harbaugh, man, it's not looking too good for them. But this is about Ohio State. They got a good quality conference win, and, man, it's looking pretty good for them. Now, this next game is going to be Washington State at Oregon. This is a game that me and Cam did preview last week. Unfortunately, Washington State does take the loss. They dropped to 4-3, while Oregon gets a good win, 38-24. After that loss, they had took to Washington the week prior. But, man, I have to give credit to Cam Ward. We both said in our preview that we thought Cam Ward was going to have a big game. Man, he threw for almost 450 yards with a touchdown, man. It just wasn't enough. Just like we said, man, I think Oregon just has a little too much on their team. Washington State has a good roster, but it's just hard for them to be able to compete with the level of athletes that Oregon has. Lanning at coach, man, sometimes he's overly aggressive, but he is a good coach. He's a good recruiter. I mean, he's got them guys buying in. Bo Nix has been looking really good for them as well. Unfortunately, Washington State drops that when they fall to 4-3, and Oregon gets back on track after their loss to Washington. Now, if I'm going to go to my third matchup, this is going to be the Duke Blue Devils taking on the Florida State Seminoles. Man, I was really hoping that Duke could have pulled off the upset. Unfortunately, Riley Leonard really struggled, man. Didn't get in the end zone once. He threw an interception. And Jordan Travis and the crew just put that whooping on Duke, man. 38-20. Man, Florida State improves to 7-0, and Duke falls to 5-2. Still not a bad game from Duke, man, but if they could have just gotten things going on offense, this game could have been a bit closer. Man, Florida State's undefeated. They're looking really good, sitting at, I think, 4th in the nation as of the power rankings right now. I think they're on a mission, man. If they keep playing like this, they're definitely going to be in the playoff. And I don't know many teams that are going to be able to stop them because Florida State's defense is very strong up front, very talented. And, man, Jordan Travis and the crew on offense, him and Keon Coleman and them other guys, man, I don't think there's many defenses in the nation that can contain them. I think Jordan Travis is gaining steam, especially in the Heisman race. But I want to say, I don't know if it was recently or before the season, he came out and he's like, I didn't come here to win a Heisman Trophy. I came to win a national championship. So, I mean, it's good to hear that from him. And like I said, I think Florida State's on a mission, man. I think they've got it on their mind. I think since week one, they got that win against LSU. They've had their eyes on the prize. They're very talented and they're very well coached under Mike Norvell. And we'll see how everything goes for them moving forward. This is the next game that, man, I have wanted to talk about since last week, man. I knew this was going to happen. And that's Utah and USC. Utah gets the win, 34-20, knocking Caleb Williams off his pedestal and knocking USC back down to 6-2. USC, if you guys didn't know, took a loss the week prior to Notre Dame, so they've dropped 2 in a row. USC sitting at 24th in the country. Utah gets the win, 6-1 on the year. I think they're ranked 13 at this point. Utah got this win, and they don't even have Cam Rising. Their backup quarterback had a pretty good game. I think he threw a couple of touchdowns as well. Man, this is a prime example of USC being really talented, but they have no defense. They gave up 34 to a Utah team that did not even have their star quarterback. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. And there's no disrespect to Lincoln Riley. There's no disrespect to Caleb Williams. But he needs to humble himself, man. You're talking about wanting partial ownership with the team that you draft, and you're going to be able to pick where you go. No, you need to humble yourself and be focused on the task at hand. Like, now you done took your second loss. You're out of the playoff picture. So it's really coming down to, are you going to humble yourself and just really try to do the right thing going forward? Or are you going to stay on this arrogant, whatever, I don't even know what you call it, man. Are you going to try to just play out the rest of the year and go through the NFL draft? Or you think maybe he passes on the draft and he tries to come back into the year? I don't know, but man, when I say I was happy to see this loss, I was very happy to see this loss for them. I like what Utah is doing. The fact that they were able to do it without Cam Rising is very impressive. I know they didn't win by much. It was 34-32, but man, very quality win for the Utes. They're looking really good as well, but man, I'm very happy to see USC take the loss this past week. Now we're going to get into our Week 9 preview. Oh, if you guys think I'm a Caleb Williams hater, I don't care. I don't like arrogance. I don't like lack of leadership. I don't like lack of accountability. I just don't like that. Personal preference, I know. Now, if we're going to go to College Football Week Preview 9, let's get into another Oregon game, man. And let's get into another big Pac-12 matchup. We've got number 8 Oregon going to number 13 Utah. Now, I don't know what the injury status of Cam Rising is. I haven't taken the time to research and see if he was going to be back for this game. But honestly, man, like, this could be a really good game, man. Bo Nix versus their backup. Utah looked really good last week. I know they gave up 32, but USC has a very explosive offense. But Utah got the job done, man. And I know Oregon's not USC. But Oregon can play defense a heck of a lot better than USC because they are abysmal on defense. I think this is a really good matchup, man. The Pac-12 has been bringing some of the best games this year. Like, and Cam called it. He's like, dude, the Pac-12 is going to come out swinging this year because they do not want USC or these other teams winning the Pac-12 the last year. And, man, I just think this could be a really high-scoring game. Oregon can score points. Utah can score points. I think this one is going to go down to the wire. I don't see this being a blowout at all. I think this one goes down in the fourth quarter, and whoever wants it more is going to win, man. I think Utah is really disciplined. I think they're really well coached, but, man, I think Oregon might have the edge on them with coaching and with athletes, man. I just think Oregon's got a really good roster. They've only taken one loss this year, and that was to Washington with Michael Penix. I don't know, man. I know this is at Utah. Really good matchup. I could see this being another 30-plus scoring game, but I've got to give the edge to the Ducks here with Dan Lanning. I just think they're gonna pull it out. I don't think it's gonna be by much. I could definitely see it being like a 35-30 game. I think it's gonna be a really high-scoring shootout. I think it'll be a really entertaining game. But if I'm gonna go with my gut, I'm going with the Ducks. I've got Oregon taking the win here. Another cool matchup. The ACC's been bringing us some pretty good matchups this year as well. Not speaking maybe of a different conference. This one's going to be between number 20 Duke and number 18 Louisville. Both good respective rosters in their own right. Duke's coming off a loss to Florida State this past week, 38-20. Louisville coming off a win. Louisville sitting at 6-1. Duke is at 5-2. This could be a really good matchup as well. I think Duke's going to be looking to make a statement win after taking that loss last week. I think Riley Leonard wants to get off on the right foot this week and actually not turn the ball over and really be able to get things going on offense. But do not sleep on Louisville, man, because I thought with everything in me that Notre Dame was going to pull off that win against Louisville a few weeks ago, and I was shocked. They contained Sam Hartman, and Louisville got a good quality win, man. I didn't think a whole lot of them going into the season, but man, they're ranked in the top 25. They're 18 right now. Duke's at 20. So, I mean, this could be a really good matchup. Man, I want to say Duke. I do. But there's a part of me that wants to say Louisville because they're not playing bad football either. I think they match up really well together. But I'm going to give the edge to Duke, man. I think Riley Leonard plays better this week. I think Duke gets off faster this week. I don't think they come off slow. And, I think Duke's going to improve to 6-2. But I don't think it's going to be by much. I think it'll be a close-scoring game. I'll go like 28-24 Duke. This next game is a really good matchup. This one's coming from the Big Ten. And that's going to be the Ohio State Buckeyes taking on the Wisconsin Badgers in Wisconsin. Like I said earlier, Ohio State's coming off a good statement win against Penn State, them improving to 7-0. Now they are sitting at number 3 in the top 25, going to Wisconsin. Wisconsin's sitting at 5-2. But, man, I understand Ohio State's loaded. I understand they might have almost the best receiver room in the country. I understand it's the Ohio State, supposedly. But, man, like, Wisconsin is just tough, man. Wisconsin's never an easy win. I know they took a loss to Iowa a few weeks ago. It is what it is, but it's going to be in Wisconsin. Luke Fickell's the coach, man. They've got Tanner Mordecai. You know I'm high on him. They can run the ball. They can throw the ball. If Ohio State wins this game, which I do anticipate they will, I don't think it's going to be easy. I think Wisconsin's going to make them work for – I think Wisconsin is going to make Ohio State work for every point they have to get. I don't think it's going to come easy at all. I don't see these big quick strike, big plays. I think Ohio State's going to have to grind to win this game. I'm not saying it'll be a 3-point win. I think Ohio State will win by at least 7 to 10 points, but it will not be an easy win. I think Wisconsin's going to make them work for whatever they get. I see Ohio State winning. I think they just have a more complete roster. But Wisconsin's tough, man. They play tough. They play hard. I would love to see Wisconsin get the upset, but if I'm going to go just off a roster perspective, it's going to be Ohio State, but not an easy win nonetheless. This next game, I haven't been talking SEC at all. I feel like the last few weeks or the last few episodes, whether it's been me and Cam or just be by myself, I don't feel like we've really been talking SEC as much besides when we go on our tangents about Alabama and LSU. But this game is about neither of those teams. This game is going to be the number 1 team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs, going to the Swamp to take on the 5-2 Florida Gators, led by Graham Mertz and Billy Napier. Man, they have turned things around, man. Florida was looking really shaky early on in the season. I was thinking that Napier's been on the hot seat. And I was thinking at one point that they were going to let him go before this point in the season. But, man, Florida has stormed back. They've looked a lot better on offense. And they've played people tough, man. They've gotten some good quality wins here early in the season. We're in, week 9 now. So 7-8 games in. They haven't looked bad. They're sitting at 5-2. It's Georgia. They've got Beck at quarterback. You still got Bowers. They've still got a really good team. Everybody's still picking Georgia to try to pull off a three-peat. I don't see it happening. Still definitely a plausible and legit argument. But, man, anytime it's one of those things, kind of like how I said in another episode of the NFL the Patriots going to Miami. This is another place where, the Florida Gators, man, going into the Swamp, I feel like even regardless if they're really, really good or not, it's a tough place to play, man. Just like Tiger Stadium with LSU or just like Kyle Field with Texas A&M. This is a tough place to play, man. It's a loud environment. It's hostile. it's hard to get wins in the swamp, especially in these circumstances. Florida is trying to get a big upset win here against Georgia. Georgia's sitting at 7-0. Carson Beck for Georgia, he's been looking good, man. I think it's a good matchup. I think Florida's got really good athletes. I think they're hungry. I think Billy Napier's got them trending in the right direction. My question is, can they get the upset? How likely? I mean, anything's possible in the SEC. We've said this numerous times on our show, but man, like, if there was going to be a chance for Florida to get an upset over Georgia, this is the time. It's not in Athens. It's in Gainesville. It's in the swamp. It's in that environment. Like I said, their offense has looked a lot better. Florida's playing pretty good football right now. I don't think it's very likely, but I could definitely see Florida getting a win here. I'd probably say it's like 70-30 or 80-20 chances for Florida. I think it's definitely plausible, but they would need a lot of dominoes to fall in their favor. They would need to get off to a really hot start and try to put Georgia out. Because I'm telling you, if they would let Georgia hang with them, Georgia would win this game. Georgia's still a powerhouse. Georgia's still the number one team in the country for a reason. They've won back-to-back national championships. They're looking to make it a three-peat. So this win will not be easy for Florida. I think they could definitely get a win. But realistically, man, I just think Georgia's got too much. I don't know if Florida can hang with Georgia. And even if they can, I don't know if they can hang with Georgia for 4 quarters. Realistically, I think Florida could really hang with them for a while, but I don't see them hanging with them for more than 3 quarters. I could see the first half and maybe a little bit of the third quarter, and Georgia pulls away. But like I said, it's the SEC. Anything is possible. It would be cool to see Florida knock off Georgia, especially in Gainesville. It would be a really, really big upset and big win for the Gators. But I can't go against Georgia, man. They're still playing good football. They're undefeated. They're the 2-time reigning national champions. I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going Georgia Bulldogs here, man. And just going into week 9, man, there are a lot of other really good matchups as well. We've got LSU, Alabama this week. And honestly, I might as well talk about this game as well. It wasn't on my list, but with a Football Frame of Mind podcast, and we're fans of the LSU Tigers and the Alabama Crimson Tide, man. This one's in Tuscaloosa. Big matchup, big ramifications behind this game. Whoever wins this game could have a legit shot to maybe squeak into the playoff. I know it's still a 4-team, 12-team playoff starts next year. Both teams aren't playing bad. Alabama got a good win last week, and LSU got a nice confidence booster against Army last week. Jalen Milroe's starting to put things together for the Tide. Like Cam has said, though, they kind of need to figure things out at running back and get their run game going. But Jalen Milroe's look pretty good. Their defense is improving. And, man, if I go to LSU, we've got a Heisman candidate, man. Jaden Daniels has been playing outside of his mind this year. I keep seeing him in the top 3 guys. We're up there with, like, J.J. McCarthy and Michael Penix, man. Malik Neighbors leading the nation in receiving yards. I think, like, 950 or so. There's like 20 touchdowns between Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. I think Thomas Jr.'s got 11. Our secondary still is struggling a bit, but they are improving. Matt House has got that defense improving on a week-to-week basis. They're trending in the right direction. But you're playing a big-time rivalry game. It's a big matchup in a very hostile environment out there in Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. Man, this game could go either way. Like we seen last year, LSU was not favored to win last year. A lot of people picked Alabama, man. They had Bryce Young. They still had a lot of these other guys. And it went down to the wire. And a couple mistakes by the Crimson Tide, and LSU was able to tie the game up at the end of the game. Brian Kelly goes out on a whim, goes for a 2-point conversion. Jaden Daniels rolls out, and Mason Taylor catches the game-winning pass. I mean, anything is possible, man. I don't want to sound like a homer, but, man, I don't know, man. I think LSU just win games that we just don't know if they're really going to win, or I just have to give the edge to LSU. I know LSU's got 2 losses. LSU should not have taken that loss to Ole Miss, but they did. And Alabama's not playing bad either, but I think they're still struggling to figure things out on their end as well. We're struggling our secondary, and Bama's got their issues with the run game or whatever else. I think it's going to be a really good game. I don't see it being really, really high scoring. But, man, I'm telling you, watch out for Jaden Daniels on the run, rolling out of the pocket, making those throws downfield, or just putting his head down, tucking the ball, and running with it. I think it's going to go down to the wire, but I'm going to go out on a whim. I'm going to say LSU wins 2 years in a row. This time, instead of Death Valley, they get the big confidence booster win in Tuscaloosa, beating Jalen Milroe and Nick Saban. That's going to be my pick. You're going to say he's a homer, but honestly, this game could go either way. Either whatever happens is going to be really entertaining, and I really look forward to watching it. Like I said, it wasn't even on my list, and then I remembered that, hey, we do play them this week. Just wanted to touch base on that. I think it'll be a really cool matchup, and then whoever wins, we're definitely going to talk smack to the other one because just friendly fun, man. We have a good time, but I digress. That was our Week 8 recap and our Week 9 preview from college football. Once again, we just want to thank all of our subscribers. Thank you guys for all the likes, the comments, the subscriptions. Like I said, we've hit 10,000. We're approaching our 11K. Man, it's been an awesome journey. We didn't know what we were getting into when we started this 4 months ago, man. We just wanted to start a podcast because we love football. That's our passion, and we like talking about it. We could talk about it. He says it all the time that we could talk about it all day. And we're just grateful to have the platform. We're grateful to be able to talk to all of you guys and discuss things together. So thank you guys for that. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you do not miss a beat. Thanks once again. Great pleasure to be working with BetUS. Like I said, guys, if you guys are interested, hit the link in the description for BetUS. They've got a lot of cool deals and promos going right now. Check them out. Awesome. I think you guys will really enjoy. Thanks to Off the Ball Network for allowing us to use their platform. And man, once again, thank you guys for all the awesome support. Once again, please hit the subscribe button, like, comment, hit the bell notification. We've got college content continuously coming out. We've got NFL content continuously coming out. We're constantly dropping new shorts about our hot takes, or we're taking the hottest moments from all of our videos. We'll put them in the shorts, put them out there for you guys. Check out our top 5 segments. Check out our preseason predictions. See where our picks will match up and see maybe how they fell short compared to where we're at now in the season. We've got an open discussion tab starting pretty soon. Don't forget about our What If series. We're going to continue to pick that one up. I know it's been probably about a month since we last did our What Ifs. But, man, I think you would really enjoy all of our great content. But once again, thank you guys. Thanks to BetUS. Thank you to Off the Ball Network. And thank you, Cam, for all of your hard work and dedication. This is Brandon, one half of the Football Frame of Mind podcast, signing off.